Hello and welcome. My name is Nathan Miller. This is my project 2 for English 317. Today I'm going to be talking about the different types of engine oil, the purposes of the engine oil, and the applications. There are four main types of engine oil. First is synthetic, second is high mileage, third is conventional, fourth is diesel. Starting with conventional, that is the most basic, it's been around for the longest. It's a blend of crude oil that's been refined with a certain amount of additives to it. We'll get to the ratio in the next slide. Synthetic is basically the same as conventional, but instead of that base oil being just normal crude oil, it's been crude oil that's been very refined through a chemical process. High mileage is synthetic oil that has more additives to it to work with a car that has higher mileage, probably above 100,000 miles. And then diesel is a different formula made for specifically diesel engines on trucks or cars. Now on to the engine oil ingredients. So in engine oil, the base oil, which is the crude oil or synthetic blend, is 70 to 85% of the makeup, and then the next 15 to 25% are additives such as detergents, corrosion inhibitors, zinc, or molybdenum sulfate. The base oil is basically what you think of as the actual oil part, and all the additives are there to either prevent corrosion, clean the engines, prevent sludge, and make sure all the molecules stay suspended in it, so when you do an oil change, they can easily be taken out of the car and not gunked up inside the engine. Other than the four main types, there's also a number code that corresponds to each engine oil. In one case, it's 5W30, and this corresponds to the viscosity of the engine oil at different temperatures. To the left is the 5 rating, which corresponds to the engine oil at 0 degrees Celsius. So how they test this is they run it through a viscometer and they time how fast it goes through. The quicker it goes through means it has a lower viscosity and a lower number. If it goes through slower, that means it has a higher viscosity and it corresponds to a higher number. These numbers range from 0 to 50. So for the left, it's tested at 0 degrees Celsius, and this is for when an engine is starting up and it has very cool engine oil, but the engine oil still needs to perform and be able to squeeze through all the tight holes to get in there and lubricate things. The one to the right corresponds to when the engine is at running temperature, 100 degrees Celsius, and it needs to be a little bit more viscous so they can protect all the parts which are moving at a fast pace. So these engine oil codes correspond to different cars. A smaller engine car or a car that runs at very high RPMs with either a turbo or some sort of forced injection needs to have less viscous oil, so corresponding to like a 5W20 or a 0W20. Engines that are much heavier duty, have bigger parts, run at higher pressures, need to have a more viscous oil, such as 1540. For example, the diesel truck there will use 5040 heavy-duty diesel oil, and that Lamborghini might use 0W20. In the end, it is important to check what your manufacturer tells you that you should put in. It either says it on the engine oil cap underneath the hood of the engine, or it'll always say it in the owner's manual, and it is important to stick to the OEM specifications of each car. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this and got some information that you might need in the future. Thank you.